What's up everybody, I'm Jesse Showalter and this is a mini series about building a website project using Editor X. Editor X is a fully featured browser-based website building tool that builds custom, seamless, and professional websites super easily. In the last episode, we built the basic structure of our watch company website. We got all of our assets in there, we made it as close to pixel perfect as we could, and we even added just the beginning, just a hint of a responsive navigation. And in this episode, we're gonna finish that responsive navigation as well as every other responsive size using breakpoints and all the modern CSS technology that Editor X allows us to. We're also going to add some really fun JavaScript animations and zip this thing up and get it ready to supercharge it in the next episode. So far, I've only put in about 35 minutes of time on this website. That's absolutely insane. It looks way too good for 35 minutes of work. All right, let's jump right in and check out where we left off before we get going too far. We have our site pretty much built inside of Editor X. We have hovers and interactions. We have these kind of fun abstract areas with typography, and we have hovers on our buttons and different sections with overlapping imagery using CSS Grid. Down here we have a Flexbox section that's full width, looks really, really nice, and we have our footer down there at the bottom. Next up, let's add a few basic animations. They're gonna bring this thing to life and just make it look really cool when the page loads. I definitely know that I want these elements right here to do a little bit of animating in as soon as you scroll into view. So what I'm gonna do is just select each item individually, and I'm gonna hit the little animation tab right there. Lots of preset animations, and each one of them you can then customize. We got things like a fade in, we have glide ins, we have expands, we got really big stuff like turns and folds and poofs, which is probably too much for us. But I do like either this slide in or this reveal for this one. So why don't we do reveal and we'll hit customize. Let's just look at what we have so far. Cool, we're gonna reveal from the left, and why don't we allow that animation just to take a little bit longer, a little smoother, maybe not that long, maybe 1.8 seconds. I like that. And then let's just give it a little delay. We only want this to animate the very first time. And these animations are gonna happen when this element comes into view after the user has scrolled down. Let's do the same thing over here. Now I'm just customizing the animation using the same animation panel as I did before. Now we should be able to scroll all the way up. Let's preview the site. Let's start scrolling down. We'll see some animations come in. That looks really, really nice. I really like it. Now, we could add to this animation and this experience by just grabbing our text here. And why don't we animate that and allow that to, we want it to slide in, or do we want it to fade in? I think we want it to fade in, but why don't we do this glide in like that? And we want it to glide in from the bottom. So 180 degrees. We want it to travel a fair distance, and we want it to last about that long. Pretty cool. It's really easy, it's really chill, it's very, very nice. So that's a cool one. And we have it all set. Now again, let's roll up, let's preview our site, let's scroll down. We'll see our images come in and our text. Really subtle, really gentle, really, really nice. I'm into it. Let's scroll down. We don't want to animate every single thing, but it would be nice to animate maybe this image over here. So let's add a fun animation there. I'm just customizing my animation using similar settings as the other animations. Okay, we're gonna add a small little animation over here. Excuse me, we're not gonna link it. We want to animate it just like that. And we want to do a gentle fade in for that one as well. Why don't we customize it? Maybe like that. No delay on that, only the first time, and now we're all set. And let's head down below that and see if we need to add animations to anything else. I don't think to any of these elements, do you? You know what, it could be fun. Let's take our entire layouter and then let's do an animation on that. So the entire thing could actually not expand in, not turn in, not fold in. No, that's too much. Those are pretty crazy. Let's do a simple fade into this entire thing. only animate the very first time, and we should be all set. Why don't we go ahead and publish this and look at it in the browser, see how the whole thing checks out. So there we are. We already have some animating going on down below. Pretty nice. Small animations happening. Looks really slick. Again, a nice fade in for that one. And then we are all set. I think our animations are looking pretty slick there. I like it. I'm into it. Next thing we want to do is start making some adjustments for mobile. Start checking these breakpoints and figuring out what exactly is going on and how everything is playing nicely together. So we're on the desktop view right now, and we also know that we have a vertical menu in there somewhere, and that we also have a hidden, I believe, somewhere in my home navigation, a hidden menu icon that's sitting over there on the right. So why don't we just, while it's out here really quickly, we're not going to want it to be inside of this white box. So let's take the white box off of it and let's make our icon to be white instead. And we don't want any sort of border. And then when it's open, I think the same thing, we're going to want that to be that color, and it's going to be on top of our menu. So with that being said, let's go ahead and don't display it again. And then let's go down to tablet. I think right here at tablet is where we'd probably want to introduce our mobile navigation. So with that being said, we're gonna want to push don't display on that nav, and we're gonna want to hit the little eyeball icon right there. And now we can see that once it drops down there to tablet, it's gonna bring in our mobile navigation. If I go down to mobile, the mobile navigation should still be there. It's just hidden, it's off the page. And so we need to figure out what's going on with our navigation. Now, from here, we can preview. We can see if we click on our navigation, we're getting our navigation all set up just like so, but we're gonna wanna edit that just a little bit. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Let's open the menu and then let's do a little bit of editing. At this point, I'm using the basic styling features to make sure that my menu is in line with the rest of my site. Basic typography, sizing, spacing, and then confirming my selections. That being said, we should be able to preview and open up our menu and close our menu back up. We get a nice slick little animation there. That's looking pretty good. Actually, our top section's looking pretty good as well, but it is a little maybe too tall. So we're definitely gonna wanna do an edit for that. Our entire section is set at a minimum height of 1200 pixels. Why don't we just drop that in half to about 600 pixels? And then we can take our information or our entire stack, and we're gonna wanna move that stack up and just balance the layout a little bit. Something like that. Let's make sure it's staying lined up. And that looks a little bit better, I think. Why don't we just move it up a little bit more even. Pretty good. And then we are actually going to want to bring this element down and stretch it out just to fill in this space, I think, again, right? Pretty good. Okay. Now our text, if we remember on our edit text, it goes all the way down to 20. Maybe that's too small. Maybe the smallest it should be is 40. So scale text, whoa, we're gonna do 40 to 100. Okay, master your time and style. Let's just stretch this out so it should be able to stay there the way it needs to stay there. Okay, good. Let's take the spaces out. Yep, okay. Everything should be pretty good. Okay, master your time and style. Again, let's edit that text. Maybe 100 even is a little too big. I think that's good. It's abstract, it doesn't need to be perfect, but now our desktop should be just fine, and also our tablet should be just fine for our top. Why don't we drop everything down to our mobile and see how that looks. Here I'm just adding some basic styling to the mobile view. I'm shrinking down the typography, center aligning, and making sure that everything matches up. It's really important that the mobile view be a good experience because most people are viewing from a mobile device. But at this point, do we really need this master your time section? I'm thinking maybe not. So why don't we take that whole section and just don't display on the mobile, okay? Okay, pretty good. So back up to tablet, down to mobile, back up to desktop. Let's go back to our tablet and let's come down a little bit here and let's take a look at our story section. When I initially created this layouter, I used pixels instead of percentages, so it was really messed up. So I've gone ahead and recreated a new section with a new layouter that's fluid and percentage based. I've copied and pasted the elements from the old section, and then as I get down into the tablet and mobile, it's doing the majority of the responsive work for me. I'm just switching around the columns, and it's really easy, so much easier to use layouters correctly. So everything's looking a little bit center line, looking pretty nice. We have our Flexbox section immediately just got kind of trimmed and made to be exactly how we want it. For the most part, we got to do a couple little tweaks here. No problem, just moving that text in. The senator, we got this guy up here. And I'll tell you what, why don't we on mobile, since it's weird to go from a white section to a white section like that, why don't we change this one completely? So you're gonna see a complete change when we drop down to mobile. Here I'm changing the typography inside of my blue box so that it stands out and it's consistent. I'm gonna go to my Flexbox layout and make sure that it drops to a single column layout as well and that everything lines up correctly. After I'm done here with my Flexbox layout, I'm gonna go down to my footer. I'm gonna change the layout of my footer for both my tablet and then later the mobile view. These changes are gonna take place across the entire site because my footer is a master. Now we're just turning things on and off, moving back and forth. I really would love to get rid of this bottom margin there in my stack. So all I do is select the individual element and then turn the padding or spacing off of it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Why don't we publish really quickly? Take a look in the browser. Let's view the site. Got some nice animations working on our page. Nice fading in going on. How's it look on the tablet size? Let's just get rid of this real quick so I can focus on it. Tablet's working pretty good. Our responsive navigation looks really, really nice. Everything looks good. Okay, and let's move down to a more of a mobile size. Everything's still working pretty good. A little bit of tweaking going on there. Could definitely spend a little bit more time kind of finessing each of those elements. But again, let me just refresh. You gotta love the nice animations all the way down your page. It's really clean. And that's how you use animations and use those responsive breakpoints to make sure that your site looks beautiful on every screen size. Well, that's it. That's all the responsive sizing for our website done, packed away in the bag. Mobile navigation works. Everything looks great on desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile. And we even added some really awesome JavaScript animations, literally in like 2 seconds. Just click, click here, customize it there, and the animations look and feel really beautiful. In this episode, I legitimately only spent about 20 minutes doing what you just saw on the screen, and I just happened to fast forward through some of the smaller kind of nitty-gritty parts, but really it was only 20 minutes. We are still under an hour right now for building this site, and that is like mind-blowing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and development and more videos coming out on Editor X, so stick around. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments and check the description for some helpful links that have to do with web development and Editor X. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things, making amazing things, and I hope you're building websites that are blowing minds. I'll see you in the next one.